Well, fellas, I'm getting a DEF fluid speed limit reduction. 47 miles until 55 miles per hour. First it was 65. Exhaust fluid system has got to be serviced, what it's calling for. The codes I've been getting is P205B, 209B, something like that. I can send you a picture of that here in just a minute. But what's happening is, it says this reductant heater was going out. So I've been clearing it with that Edge Evolution ever since. And it's been fine for months. And then all of a sudden the truck goes into this thing and it's starting to limit my power. And I'm like, well, I guess I got to do something. So talked to a guy up in Kentucky, and he had another DEF that he deleted off his truck that he wasn't going to use. And was just had it on online for 150 bucks. So I was like, heck, you know, just that pump right there and the heater and everything is $150, or actually $260, $200 for the Dorman brand at O'Reilly Auto Parts here in Boone, Mississippi. What I've got here is there's two T40 bolts holding the tank bracket up, which this is the tank bracket here. Fella gave me these with that tank there. It's got a little T-slot hangs down in there, and you just push that T-slot over and then you drop the tank out. So working on that right now. I got the first one out. There's a little cover that goes underneath it, which is the plastic cover. It's got tabs. It's got a 1/2 inch drive bolt on it, hex head. You take 3 of those bolts out, and then you start to wiggle this thing out. I'll put the jack on there just now, just because I just filled it up with DEF fluid to keep it from, you know, saying low level in there. But anyways, I'll let you know how it goes. We're gonna try and get the rest of this thing out, which I'll give you a little view down here where I'll be. And it is coming to rain. But what we got here is that little hose bracket right there has got to be slid back. You can do it with a pair of channel locks like I did, or you can buy one of them expensive tools from O'Reilly's or AutoZone or whatever, or Amazon. Wait 3 days. But anyways, I took that bracket off. Let's see. Yep. I got a lot back here behind me. Anyways, we're about ready to drop this tank out, so I'm going to use this jack and lower it down. But for now, I'll let you know how it goes getting it back in, unplugged and plugged on the wiring harness. Now it's got that wiring harness up. It's got the pump line, it's got the fuel or the fill line. It's got 1, 2 plugs, and then the breather vent for the DEF fluid to actually have air to lower in the tank. This is an OEM rig. The guy that got it, he had his truck under warranty. Right before the warranty went out, the DEF went out. So lucky for him and lucky for me, they put a brand new DEF in there for him. But he said, I don't want to be stranded on the side of the road, so he just deleted everything on it after the warranty went out. So took this off, set it in his carport, and like I said, $150. 4 months later, I got this thing. So I'll let you know how we go, and as far as installing it into this 2016 Silverado 2500 HD 6.6 LML, and I'll be back. Well, folks, I got this here plug undone. I don't know what to call it. Kind of a challenge. You gotta stick a screwdriver. Let me zoom out. Yeah, there we go. You gotta stick a screwdriver out there in that crack. Pry it back, push down on that lever there, and it'll release it off of this little piece here, which that plug's on the inside. Just take note of that, because I was trying to pull this plug out of that, which that's not how it happens. That one falls out of this one. Now, trying to get this pump line off, and it ain't easy. If I had a circle pair or something there, it's not coming out of there. Alright, I'll get back with you on that. Well, folks, my old motion light quit on me. I don't know why it ain't coming back on, but Lord have mercy. Grief, that hurt. Alright, so that's the other one. Yeah, I got a little muddy on that one. Disconnecting everything. Now I'm gonna put this one back together, but I'm not gonna say anything because my flashlight's gonna be in my mouth. I'm gonna try to hook up everything I can with the camera on. I don't have a tripod. Here we go. The vent hose here. Alright, that's snapped in. And we got this piece here. And it goes, I don't know if you can see or not. Alright. Okay. Piece is in now. This plug right here goes to this one. I'm gonna set you down while I do that. And lastly, you put that little 21 or 24 feet wire fuse block, not fuse block, wire connector back. I call it the cam block connector because it kind of got a little cam there. But put all that back in, and I'll see if I can't get you some footage of how these hangers go back on, and we'll let you know. Well, folks, she's buttoned back up. Really hoping that it works, so we'll see what happens. Well, I took that T-slot little hanger there out, and I slipped this hose off right here. Got there's your vent hose. Or, yeah. And then this line right here, I guess that's your pump line. I need to take it off. And then I took that cam buckle styles, just like those ones up there by your ECM and PCM up there in the engine bay. You just flip that little blue bell over. Sorry about that on the camera. Flip that little blue bell over and it pops right out. And then, yep, so I'm about ready to swap her out of here. Well, folks, I got that tank back in there, and then I checked the codes, and lo and behold, I had a whole list up, let me just tell you. I'll just pull these up for you right here. So we got a P20B9, P0073, P204C, P20AO, U010E, and then P208A, P205D. So there's a picture of those. You can probably see them on there. I don't know if it's reversed or not. Well, yeah, there you go. That's all of them. All of them's codes popped right up. Well, guess what it was? I got down there and I looked, and I knew I didn't get that cam buckle clip back in there the way I wanted to. I didn't feel like it was right, so I let it back down a little bit. And yeah, on the back side towards the exhaust and DPF and all that, the cam buckle was not fully seated. So what I did was I unbuckled it, pulled out the plug, cleaned it off with a rag, pushed it back up in there, made sure it latched correctly. I actually disconnected that cam buckle plug from that chassis rail. And after I did that, I had plenty of slack to work with, so I put it down there where I could see it and work on it, and I slid that plug right up in there. And I turned the cam buckle on, latched perfectly. Then I refastened that DEF tank and put the cover back on it. Went around to the truck, cranked it up, and those codes, all of them, went away. So every single one of them went away. So it feels like that old DEF tank that boy gave me from Kentucky. You know, I think it's going to be alright. We're just going to try to see what's going on. But still the countdown's on there for the 45 mile per hour, you know, and the 55 mile per hour and all that stuff still on there. So what I did just now is I went out there and I got this Edge Evolution CTS2, and it is pretty handy to come in, you know, check codes and that kind of stuff. Put your toe tune on, your performance tune, any kind of tune you really want to have. That's within that model. And I did a regen. So the regen, basically what it did was it went and got that exhaust real hot. You know, the DPF is supposed to clear all that soot out. Well, I let that run. It got up 3,000 RPM, got about 600 degrees on the EGT, exhaust gas temperature. And then after that, it just shut her down, went down to like 800 RPM. So when it got to there, you know, it was regular idle, said regen is done. Cut the truck off, cut the truck back on. Still got that little 55 mile an hour, 65 mile an hour thing. I was like, well, Jack, you know, golly, what am I going to do here? So I looked online, I think it's Duramax or Diesel Place, or hold on, let me just check. It's the dieselpageforums.com. This here, Jesse 1975 said, He had the same issue and he was trying to get it off of his truck. He said the heaters need to be toggled on for a test. Can be done by a dealer or shop with an Autel or other professional scan program tool. After successful heater test, the condition clears. Hopefully I'll update tomorrow. And so that's something you'll have to do. You can get in there with a scan tool, toggle it on, toggle it off on that heater. And then secondly, D-Max Maverick, which is the next guy coming in. Now this is all in 2019 now. It's 2020. Yeah, the worst year ever. But what he says, D-Max Maverick said, disconnect both battery cables and ground one battery cable to the chassis for 30 minutes. This should reset all the counters once started. After all the the diagnostics will run. You have to put some miles time on it before the inspection, which is an inspection from GM to, you know, see if it's repairable under warranty, which is this guy who was talking on there. Just nothing to do with what I'm doing. But basically what you got to do is you disconnect your hot and your ground on both your batteries, which you got one on the passenger side, one on the driver's side. Disconnect both of those. Be real careful doing that. I cleaned up the terminals on my driver's side battery because they were kind of a little bit corroded. Got that green build up on them. Polished them out with a steel brush. Got them real good and clean them. Put some dielectric grease on there right before I put it back together. And right now I've got that. I'll just take you out there. I got that the ground cable. I just kind of did a little old wood clamp there. I just wanted to make sure I polished that ground bolt. Well, it's not really a ground bolt, it's a frame bolt, but I polished it, hooked it up. As you can see, the hot and ground both disconnected, and then the hot and ground over here also both disconnected. So you're supposed to leave that, like he said, for about 30 minutes, and you should be able to reset all the timers. Lord willing, that helps. Lord willing, that works, because other than that, I'm going to have to go up to my uncle's shop and we're going to have to figure out how to toggle that thing on and off with a Tech 2 or some kind of scan tool. So anyway, I hope that works. But yeah, if you got any problems with your DPF, it's probably going to be that heater core, and especially with all those codes that I showed you. You know, that's kind of what popped up on mine. And what really sucks is when they limit your power and then you limit your speed. And I did a lot of research. I looked at all kind of different, you know, forums there on the internet, and you know, some people were limited to 4 miles an hour. Some people said the 4 miles an hour is not actually real, it's only 30. But regardless, I don't want to be stuck anywhere going 30 miles an hour down a 70 mile an hour interstate. That's just crazy. So doing this work, maybe it'll help you out, maybe it won't, I don't know. But if you're doing any kind of searching for this kind of issue, you're more than welcome to, you know, message me on there on my Facebook. I'm Colin Holley, COLLINHOLLEY. You can message me on Facebook, and I'll check my requests every now and again. But if you got any questions, I'll be glad to tell you what I know. And I don't know a whole lot. I just know enough to get in trouble. But anyway, God bless y'all. Have a good day.